Do swear that.
Do swear that
I will speak the truth.
I will speak the truth,
The whole truth.
whole truth,
And nothing but
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Good morning, Mr. Kujabrbi.
Mr. Kujabrbi.
Good morning, Lead Council.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Ibisimilai TRRC.
Thank you.
You have just sworn an oath to speak the truth.
Ifele kaloleta ko ibe tonyali fola.
I just need to remind you that it is a criminal offense to lie under oath in this country.
Be haklo bulan la kaje ko kalota nangim banko luwal funo pare faniafo.
It is also an offense to provide false information to the TRRC.
TRRC kono jam fanang luwati nyalom ka kumakangol fumi alon ko ka yangani yota ka commission of lindala na luwangi bangalale.
Thank you very much for agreeing to testify before the commission.
Baraka bake na tanyamen kason kana CDRO di commission of toyaraja.
And considering that you were once a Director General of the NIA,
Niajibe nene keta nung Director General of NIA wati dolu.
I just have to remind you that by reason of that, I have to remind you that you have a right not to incriminate yourself.
Oto abatale ka tandila ko yenyan to sotole frikane fandu.
But that said, you do not have a right to lie to the commission.
Bare manyan to fanan soto ka kumo fomi alon kamanke to nyati commission no nyati lima.
Which therefore means that when you speak, when you answer questions, you must answer them truthfully.
O ya tandi ko ni be nyinin ka ibe jabiro la nyanta jabila to nyata nyami.
Are you ready to proceed with your testimony?
Paretale pour seriaro ni commencer.
Yes.
Kindly tell us your full names, please.
Ito ni kontongo fumuli.
My name is Abdoulie Kujabrbi.
Ntomu Abdoulie Kujabrbi leti.
Could you kindly give us a brief narration of your biographical information?
Ko ila karango ko Kenya fumuli karang commencer daming fa labanta daming.
I was born in Dobong,
Mwuluta sateo to kafudame Dobong,
Pony Kansala district,
Fonyi Kansala Tundo Kang,
the West Coast region.
Brikama Banko Kang.
The 31st of July,
July Karotil Tansabanin killing,
1959.
1959 Samakono.
Tell us about your education.
Ilalondo Kenya Fanyaba.
I attended St. Edward's Primary School in 1964 in Buyam.
Tata St. Edward's Primary Karambunguto 1964 Sangokono Buyam Sateto.
And went to St. Edward's Secondary School.
Tata St. Edward's Secondary Karambunguto.
Passed out in 1976.
Nana Karambanje 1976 Sangokono.
What did you do after that?
Bring oban ipareta woto emunina inata muneke.
I had entry to go to the high school, but due to the financial problems of my parents, I decided to come to Banjul and look for employment.
Nasilo soto kata karambumbato kakaranje baribitung otumo na fulola kole ya Kenya na ululalie bitungo dalile ya sabu nko otombatu ngana Banjul ngana jube fombe doko soto.
Do I take it from your answer that as a result you did not attend high school?
Silanga bela jabiro le tala ka ko wogole asabu imang high school karangota.
Ah.
But I did other courses that led to same as going to high school.
Bari nga karango dolu kele men ya lonko wolde asekeno wol fanal sikeno dalilo timense polu selendi santo.
Proceed, please.
Continue.
I was employed as a daily wage clerk at the Public Service Commission.
Public Service Commission
1977.
yenta do ko la 1977 pour ni lolundi do ko la menka do ko kije ka fami daily wage.
1 year later,
sanji kilim ko la
I sat to the government entrance examination.
ngalondi konti boke pour ka dum man sakunda do ko kono.
Instead of going to the clerical school, I was I was appointed on the permanent and pensionable establishment and taken to the judicial department.
Nyanda tala nun karambundo to memu mansa kundala bundalo re mutibarbitum ina tanta do ko la me ya lon konsi pension sotonno do ko nyina karola le hanfo bito dalilo le ya sabu ina tan dundi mansa kundala do ko kundala.
Why was it the case that you did not go to clerical school?
Muna ne manta clerical school.
Commissioners then told me that now I've got the experience at the PSC, there is no need to go to the clerical school.
Tumo commissioner men bije wolle nata nyum fanya PSC ko woto mbete mbomento amang nyinsi pour ngata clerical karamodo.
So I spent 3 years in the judiciary.
So ngasanje sabake tilimuni kiti bundala
And my appointment was confirmed.
Itung inata nata kanta do ko la inata o sabatindi.
I sat to the proficiency bar examination.
Nata londi konti boke me ya lon ko wolem ebe sawna londi kadum londi bunda du kubato ika fole ba examination.
And I was promoted to a grade 6 clerical assistant.
Do mole nata grade 6 makamo dinna clerk ya do ko la karola.
Grade 6, what was that? What position was that?
Grade 6 omu makama jumaliti no.
Because when you are appointed, it is a clerical assistant grade 4, 5, then stroke 6. After the proficiency bar, the stroke is removed and then you are promoted to grade 6.
As a clerk's assistant?
As a clerical assistant.
Niye londi konti boke ni makamo mendila wolem grade 4, 5, stroke 6. Yo bari ni nata tambi wo makamo la han foy londi konti boke foy nata gagné ikaw 4, 5 kondi jele ye tentendi ye futandi grade 6 makamo fangoto.
At what level was a clerical assistant? Was that the lowest rung in the cadre of clerks?
No. The lowest rank was grade 4.
Yes, but still a clerical assistant.
Yes, though I work in various departments within the judiciary.
Grade 4 wole jita ibeti bari bitu wairi ngado koke fanna jamale la tilmunin kito bunda la judiciary wota lilo le ya sabu inata fontenga muro soto le pour katara place.
Proceed please, and then
I work under different judges.
Ngado koke kitindirla jamale koto.
I was also a Kali scribe.
And nata ke na misilme kiti bunda fana na kila koti
And an accounting officer.
Nata ke konti bunda do kula fananti
The judiciary.
wo tilimunin kito bunda laji.
what do you mean by an accounting officer?
I was assistant to the accountant who was dealing with all the financial transactions of the judiciary.
Memmarta konto na flow konto la tilimunin kito bunda la utumo ntelebe abala kadu koke ka mako yo do kola.
And that would be an accounts clerk position.
Accounts clerk.
Make yes. Account clerk or the position.
Proceed, please.
Kwetente.
Then I was promoted to the rank of assistant registrar.
Ina ta place wala fa nye yenke registrati menketa safer karol la
assistant registrar.
Assistant registrar.
Then I was there for almost 15 years.
Mbewoto fo sanji tang ani lulu.
Assistant registrar. At which court? The High Court, is it?
At the High Court, yes.
Kiti bunda bala tha.
And what's the role of assistant registrar?
Name assistant registrar do koti.
Doing records.
Walem ka kuketa lu safe.
And opening case files for court proceedings.
Nin kitolu be kala file ol men yalon ko nyantata lawo kiti bunda la koluka kaytolu ka dum file ol men ko non tele ka wol yele.
And you would agree with me that in the structure of the judiciary in the Gambia, an assistant registrar's job is a basic clerical job.
O bare be sonna mal ko judiciary la taransi lo ko mi la do ko nyaka kenyaming assistant clerk oni registrati wo be kala comme mum yalon ko London dingole ba
mun ta clerk ya do ko le
clerk ya do ko lo
Yes, because what happened is
wala bare mun na ta ke
it's the same as when you are a court clerk,
te ku kilino ni mu kiti bunda kila koti
one of the judges
e wo kitindirla kilin koto
work under Justice O'Brien Coker, the late,
do ko ke Tala O'Brien Coker koto
Justice Solomon Jai,
ni Justice Solomon Jai,
Justice Abwaji,
Justice Abuaji,
lastly with Justice P.D. Annin when he was doing the 1981 treason trials.
nata labang do ko la Justice Anin koto 1981 bring ibewo jamfa jaw kitolu kela.
Yes, proceed. What happened after working as an assistant registrar?
we continue ya fo molle mun na take ka bring e be do ko la as assistant registrar.
My services were terminated.
Ina tanna do ko kumfa.
Why?
Natinna
I had a big misunderstanding between the then principal magistrate, the late Ibumbu.
Otumo nyofa hambalia bana tatara ning otumo alfate mameng ikafa principal magistrate Ibumbu.
He reported me to the late Wallace Grant, who was the master of the Supreme Court.
Otumo
This.
anatana kibaro di Mr. Wallace Grant la memu master tinu Supreme Court Bundala.
I went to him and he confronted me with what Mr. Mbu told him. I told him, if you don't terminate me, I will resign because I will never work with Mr. Mbu again.
Rim futata ma nya anyati lungola nadia muta nata fine ko ni man na do ko banjang ni mam fonyondi do ko la nte fango be resign la mbem fonyola le katu Mr. Mbu nate do ko keno la koteke.
This is how I was terminated and paid my gratuity.
Tumolem inatana mbondi do ko la je yenna buluma sayo dinna.
Are you suggesting that you are terminated for doing no wrong?
silang akamta ko ebe min foka yete bayle andu ngatre mon kujawoke.
Mr. Mbu set me up.
Mr. Mbu ay ferole sitting kama.
When I knew it, I decided to resign.
Brimbota kalama udalilo le asabu ngam fonyo do ko.
But you did not resign, you were terminated.
Yeah,
Te
but I
amanke
told,
tele
him,
fam
I
fonyondi.
told my master that I'm resigning if you don't terminate me.
Ngolo for master kay ni.
So that you can get your benefit.
Mr. Kujabrbi, this is not a very significant issue because that's not under investigation, but just to set the record straight, Mr. Wallace Grant was a lawyer, I want to believe, and he knows the law. He would not terminate you for doing no wrong. He must have had a legal basis for terminating you, wouldn't you think so?
Ako Mr. Kujabrbi ni ajibe nyimang kumaya bake ndolla kiskisroto bare fase safero nyintilindi kaje ko Mr. Wallace mu moliti mi alon kay amulon fen ko loyalty andunga yala do ko nole ate wulla wo nyama doron ay bay atara ayela bila do ko nyin tinya atara malo mun yemine ke wala man ko no makom no ya ko nyama.
Well, it depends. Maybe you don't want to embarrass the principal magistrate.
Malo embarrass ke amalla fi magistrate kunton ko nyin malundila.
To the extent that he would do some illegality by unlawfully terminating you?
Fai futa woto fai la do ko nyin tinya atara amahana katunga kamalu nyin la wala
satara ni silo manta.
The only thing he did was to write to the PSC, to the PMO who terminated my service. That's what happened.
Yeah, men kan ndorongole safero ke ka ki PMO do ku bunda me mata do ku lalla pour ka ntela kambondi do ko la.
And do you agree that during those days you cannot terminate anybody without giving reasons, and the reasons ought to have been justified?
Andum fay be lala na le ko watol kono ite mola do ko tinya da atre mal la fen ko fo
dalila koyo
fo mi atina ko amari la do ko nyanta tinya.
According to the letter I got was your services has been terminated with immediate effect and you'll be paid 1 month's salary in lieu of your notice. That was all.
Na letro men soto yo le fanyen ko mbe bondila do ko la mbe da handila yo bitun ila do ko nyin ko la mbe jola karkilin jola pour ila buluma sayo o drone tarta letro nyimbala.
Same thing applies to when I was terminated from the former government.
Alu
Said
ate ku kilin wala fanan keta biri yembondi ni mansa kundato mem bota jam fanan imam fem sa feje wokola.
Well, what you read out, what you stated, sounded very much like a letter you would receive from the last administration and not the one before that. But let's just leave the point and we move on. You left the service of the judiciary and you moved on to something else. What did you do?
I applied as an unqualified teacher and I taught for 2 years.
Nasaferoke purka dum karandiroto which school?
At a mission school.
Na saferoke purka karandiroke na tandundi nyin dina karambuto andu nga karandiroke woto fo sanjifula.
You said that during this period you did some courses.
Tell
us which courses you did.
I went to the GTI and did higher intermediate courses and I had a certificate.
The certificate of soto brintata GTI nga ila londo tukun santonko karang hanufo nga alondi kondiboke nga certificate of soto ngofananto.
In what?
English.
In English.
Ngale count.
And you'd agree with me that Pittman, those courses were just remedial courses, like for ordinary levels.
Higher intermediate.
Ibe so nako tumo Pittmans wala o makamo o munyeti puru amari la makamo
not up to ordinary level GC. It's not that level. It's much lower. Pittman is much lower.
Thank you very much for that clarification, Hima. See? So that was much lower than ordinary levels. As Imam has corrected. Apart from Pittman, did you do any other courses?
When I was in the NIA, I went to Hungary and did a course on IPSA, that is International Bodyguard Security Service Association.
Brintata NIA yansamba saundi
Minister of Local Government as Commissioner in West Coast.
yen samba ministre bundala me marta man sakundari ngolla yenke commissioner ti birkama tundo kam.
And as Commissioner for West Coast, you pretty much headed or represented the government at the West Coast region. You represented the executive, pretty much the president of West Coast region.
Donc kake commissioner ti West Coast akamuta ko te nyaton kaya balta akamuta ko president o be wole to ya leji West Coast region.
In fact, Mr. Witness, from 2002 you became Deputy Director General of the NIA, and you became Director General in 2003. Is that right?
And from 2002, Mr. Kujabrbi natake Deputy of NIA, and in 2003 natake Director General of NIA.
In fact, between 2002 and 2005, you occupied very senior positions in government.
Niya jibe 2002 kata 2005 palaso mi alon ko wole santon ko yata NIA ite woleta.
Not 2005.
2002.
I mean up to your termination in
2004, yes.
In 2004, yes.
2004.
It was in May 2004.
Gata make role kono 2004.
And you occupied very senior positions in government.
And palaso mi alon ko wole santon ko yata wolle mara masakunda.
You are Deputy Director General.
You Deputy Director General ti.
And you are Director General.
Natake Director General NIA.
Why were you appointed to these positions?
Nana yeta ke la nim palaso dile pour mara.
When I went to the NIA, there was no position like Deputy Director General.
Rimbita NIA palasti yenung memu Director General Nolankoti.
It was not during Sambaba's time.
Manke Sambabala watoti.
Not during Munir Dabamarina's time.
Manke Dabamarina la watoti.
It was during Munir Dabo's time.
Kita Munir Dabo la watole.
He created that position.
Utumole miyo palaso londi.
Recommended me as the deputy.
Inata ya maro ke puru kanteke suti o Nolankoti.
Mr. Witness, perhaps we need a bout of honesty here. You would appreciate that the position of Deputy Director General of any intelligence service is a very high position. It's a very senior position.
Mr. Kujabrbi jan nyanta tilina janne ifango be sonna maleko ka ke Deputy Director General mu palasi balti NIA la kordato.
Ha.
You would also agree with me that an intelligence service is an institution that requires very, very sharp minds, highly intelligent people. Is that not the case?
Akwandi fana ibe sonna la ko nyindoko mi alon ko NIA kullo
the intelligence service, not NIA.
Amonta kullo doko bunda.
Nyanta kala multi mi alon ko o mu palaso mi alon ko palasi balti nyanta kala multi mi alon ko ayalon do sotole wala se o palaso marado.
No, that is not what I
Sike moti me ya lonko hakilo na londo ni ala miraro yirwata londi dinkarengo ba maribu.
It requires highly intelligent people. You would agree with me?
Yes, but sometimes it's the dedication.
Just
and
answer the question.
Yes.
It is a yes or a no.
Yes.
And you would agree with me that it also requires people of very high academic qualifications, very high academic achievements.
Mi be sonna male ko momi alon ko mi be o palaso maralo momi alon ko yala karan kendo sotole wala se o palaso marano.
And it's quite obvious that you did not have any such attributes.
And dungi fong yatande la ko ite mahani o sifal soto.
Yes.
Ha.
And in fact, you are related to Yaya Jammeh, weren't you?
And dung fan yaji bitini yaja me al dentale fo.
Yes, I'm related to him.
Ha na dentale.
In fact, you grew up in the same place.
No an kuluta dula kilin ne kodi.
He came to my village when he was transferred from Kanilai to St. Edwards.
Anatan la sate oto bria sawundi.
Where he met me.
Kabona
Could you take that again? We missed something.
Kweje sen kandomendi.
He was transferred from Kanilai Primary School,
ya sawundi kabo Kanilai primary karambungoto.
Buyam Primary School, and he started there in Primary 4.
Na Buyam primary karambungoto aya damuta auto primary 4.
And was the year I also completed my secondary 4 education.
o sangole mum fanangana secondary 4 karango mume o bang.
But that said, you had that family bond during that time.
woro ko yat na fatul muflu dal al dalta al
Allah dimba badi ya katata nyola.
And that family bond and relationship continued up till when he took over the government.
no wole continue ta fana ta man sakunda ta wato minna
Once a relative is always a relative, yes.
Nim badi ya be nim motema o badi ya ka continue da dron.
I am talking about the bond.
Nka mem fo wala chokinyolo membaltem.
Yes.
Ha
Until the time you were appointed as Deputy Director General of the NIA.
fo wato minna yete fananta ka ke deputy director of NIA
Deputy Director General NIA.
Yes.
Ha
Even though you are not qualified for the position.
Hala
mala londo soto pour ka ke ko palace ota
to nyala.
Could you take that answer again?
o jabi
That
ke
is
banga
true.
moy
Ako to nyala.
In fact, the qualification for your appointment is that you are related to Yaya Jammeh.
ko banniaji ay fango yeta wolo mo ina dentale wala tinna yeta ka palace o dilela
I will say no to that.
Mba fulale hani
You see, Mr. Kujabrbi, we have to get a true and accurate record of the events that happened during this period, where there were obvious corruption, which has led to the undesirable consequences. We have to bring them out. Your qualification for appointment as Deputy Director General was that you were related to Yaya Jammeh, and he needed somebody like you, somebody he could trust in that position.
ako niaje ya jame
I
yeta
I will not deny because I was not, but what I can tell you is,
But if you don't deny, it means you accept it.
yes,
sila
that
ni
means
ke atara itete oso so la woto wolo mi sontale
why Muniru had to do that, I don't know, maybe to, I don't know, but I was
But
appointed.
isn't clearly the case that by Winiru recommending you, he is in fact looking for approval of his actions from Yaya Jammeh. He
ako bare ngi sen
wants to
yatale
so demonstrate loyalty.
It's possible.
munido yete ta wa kamata ko abo ya jame kangole bato kanka ya jame le sute
It's not only possible, that was the reality.
Man
That
ko
was, it was
absekeno.
just a game
Bro.
of show of loyalty.
bare wolon to nyati pour ka
By-
cool
by-
tandi ko
by
be
the-
And one of the problems was that people were being appointed to positions they were not qualified for by reason of the fact that they have familial or ethnic relationship with Jammeh.
Dungi fananda be kul kono le ka bolom ka molta mi alon ko wi badi ngol ma andu yelandi palaso to mi alon ko itol mo makamo soto andu ya Jammeh bole ke kan.
But this was not in fact about tribe, it was about who Jammeh trusted to as a person who would defend his position.
Bare mantra kom si fachan fansa ko le fo kanja bare kom kul mi alon ko Jammeh ata wor Jammeh ko jumale be lalatela pour ko jumale nyanta jumale landila dulato mi alon kate atebella atebe hakilo be tenkuna dal.
You would agree that his interest was appoint people who were loyal to him, irrespective of the fact that they did not qualify for those positions. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
And in fact, it was on that basis you were appointed Director General of NIA.
Director General of NIA.
You would agree?
Trusted me, that's true.
In fact, how soon after you did Kujabrbi, the other Kujabrbi, come to become Director General of NIA?
Silankabite botaje o Kujabrbi numu Kujabrbi atinata ke Director General NIA watu jumale.
I don't know because I was not in this jurisdiction of this country then.
Mr. Chair, I'll provide that information at a later stage. We have the list of the holders of the various offices at the NIA and the periods in which they held those positions. And it would be quite interesting to take a look at it to see who occupied what positions and sometimes the underlying reasons before that. So now let's talk about your stint in the NIA. What were the working arrangements generally, especially at the time of Sambaba?
After my in-service training, I was posted to the President's office as liaison officer. Between the office and the President's office. The NI office and the President's office.
Yen samba utumole president la office oto purunga ke tema lankoti kolu samba nyato president la office aning enteladu kudula office nyin tema.
And what was the role of the liaison officer between State House and the NIA?
State House tema.
Already there was an NIA office at the State House.
Wayatarale NIA office be State House.
Headed by Daba Marena, the late Daba Marena.
Utumo memu office nyato nkoti wole mtala Daba Marena ti.
If the DG Sambaba has anything to submit to that office,
Femfen ning Director General Sambaba nyanta wole futandila office oto.
Tell me, I'll go there and discuss with the head of the unit.
Asafo nyantaje membe wo bunda nyatonka yala inaya kacha.
Which is a matter that should reach to the president.
Inkulo menyanta futa la president ngoma.
I will hand over everything to Daba and he will take it there.
Nteka woko bechi kale ngadi Daba pe finansi na futa ndije.
But during that period, would you have direct contact with the president?
I used to meet the president even after working hours.
Nim president kanyojele hani do ku watu lufango kola.
But the reason was
atu dalilo munyeti nunko.
If Yaya used to see a lot of people outside the office or in the office, so you will see that after working hours I'll go there and then question him to tell me what and what has been said. If there is anything I can do about it, I'll tell him no, this is not true, this is true.
Utumo Yaya kamoja maleje anduwe ulmankanya yo bitungo tembo handinga jita doku wato kola nsitaje wo monyoje ulukono naka diamule ninkolu tata menu yalon koy futatama bitun teka wolle boy nyoto nsafa nyinni manke to nyati de bari ñi mu kusoto ngolti nsiolu baye nyoto.
As time goes on, I will give you examples of why I was very close to him in those days.
Time wato kata nyamin mbina obe bondela nyoto le muna nankata tala bake wotilolu kono.
Well, that was the point I was going to make, that you became very close to Jammeh. And in fact, you became an unofficial principal advisor to Jammeh. But you would also agree with me that you did not have the training nor the qualification to attain such position. You would agree with that?
Yes.
So tell us the reasons why you became very close to him.
I know Yaya when he was a small boy.
Yaya long bri abe kambandi yala.
I know what type of a person he is. He is short-tempered. And he has nobody to tell him to stop. He would do blunders.
And mota bala mensa fay atu ni wonte asi kujawoluke wala asi tinyaroluke.
That has nothing to do with qualifications.
Wo mang lolu la soto ka foko ngakarango makamole soto.
I save a lot of people because of false statements given to Yaya. But if Yaya knows you and he trusts you, you can even sell the whole country in 1 minute.
Tato Yaya Jammeh mole matina la tela jikitela isinyem banko fango be wafino le minute kilindro.
And some people
and
who were getting access to him were using that to castigate others, which I had to stop it.
Andu modolu sotonta wolu katatala nyamin wolu leta purka dolu tinya bitum wonyo tinya dalilo le ya sabunte tumodolu nka fay atu.
I hope I'm clear.
You promised to give some examples.
One example,
Santiam Kilim Munyinti
2001 election.
2001 Karte Fayoto.
I was in my office.
Benna office okono.
One of the oddlies at State House called me and said, if you don't come, Yaya is about to set fire here.
Oddly old Dolube State House, most of the men konya nimanna. Yaya Jammeh pareta dimba bola State House
I was very angry.
That wolunga kamfata back.
Then I went.
What was his anger about?
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
When I went to the State House,
Bring for the State House.
Told the oddly to announce me.
Ko oddly we tang kankulaje.
I entered, I met him so furious.
Ndunda ngatara abe kamfarim back.
And I said, what is your problem?
Kai mune muila kole ya koti.
Took out a list.
I kaito bondi tolu be safari
You
member.
see this list? All these permanent secretary directors, they are not in for me.
Ayo kaito mem bondi tolu menu bebe obala permanent secretary ni la directolu. Akonya nyulu be man ngani yo tente.
In fact, they did not even vote for me in the past election.
In fact, wala nyinti ko fa hani nyin carte fay tambila nyulu fa lu man carte o fayinte ye nyin carte fay
I
tambila.
told him to give me the paper.
Nkai kaito nyin dinna.
Look through the paper.
Na kaito nyin jube.
I told him, look,
Nkai hey ajube.
I'm not going to ask you who gave you this list.
Tafale nte nyin kala jumale nyin kaito dila.
What I want to ask you, why are people doing secret balloting?
Mlafte nyin kala menna munana molu be kullo to carte fayo keka.
So that nobody will know who voted for who.
Mo kana lon jumale carte o fay joye.
And also,
Nim fanang
if you believe that these technocrats will vote for you,
ni lata nyin nako nyin londi do kulalu nyin lonna do kulalu be la carte o fay la ite yende.
you are wasting your time.
Be la wato le tinyaka.
What we know of technocrats is to deliver.
Nga mellong nyin lonna do kulali wala mi yela do ko ke ya futandi ka tembendi anyama.
They are not politicians.
Nyilu manke politician oluti.
They are not appointed by any political reasons.
Manyilu ta politiko dalilo ka.
In fact, the person who gave you this list,
mari mem fango nyin kaito dada ka nyin tolu dila.
If you call him here and ask him to swear to the Quran that he voted for you, he will not swear.
Dia kumandi jang ye kar al Qur'anu dunga bulu ikaye kali ka foko ate karte o fayiten amari ate kali.
So he wanted to dismiss 21 people at the same instant.
Lafta mo mu andi kilin ne bayla lodula kilingoto.
I took the paper, I tore it away.
Kaito nyinta nga faram farang.
And he started laughing.
Utumolong aya damuta kajele.
They are lucky. I said, no, you are the one who is lucky.
Ako he alay nyille harje nkai hani alay telemanta beng.
Told him, if you remove these 21 officers,
Nkai ne nyi mo andi kilin do kulalu bondi la palaso.
and you bring maybe their deputies or whatever, and they cannot do the job.
Ni nata wolu nolan kolu nata wo palaso to adu wolu manna do ko keno.
Are you not setting your government behind?
Munta foi mantale la man sakunda la murundi la koma bang.
And he said, in fact, why are you here?
Utumoleng akonye saying ite fango inata mune nyini njang.
Told him I was told.
Nanyum faye ko ye nyine fonyen ko.
I came.
Ah muye kunyine bijang wo
Mr.
dalilu le
Witness,
nati.
Yaya was your boy. You brought him up.
Yes.
Sedo ya mbitela kambande ngodi tele yakulu.
Ah
I'm older than Yaya for almost 7-8 years.
Nsiata yaya ati sanji urawla kata fo sanji saifan.
You brought him up.
I
Mtako
was
tele
one of
yakulu.
those that brought him up. But
So you knew him very well.
Mtako ite alone kendeke.
Ah ngalo mbake.
Would this description fit him?
Pro nying kaito.
From what you've just said,
Ite nyi kumol be min sataja.
this is not my position, it is not my view.
Ni manken tela palaso ta manken tela jero.
I'm just deducing it from what you have said.
Ba bondika ne tela kuma khawon ko mi fa.
And I would put it there for you to comment.
Silang ba landele nyati le ngopuru isa afo.
Would you describe him as an intelligent fool?
Silang ite isa ala Kenya fo ko molo mi alon ko ya londo sto le kendeke.
Tole lonnalem.
I will not say he's an intelligent fool.
Nta fola ko tole lonnalemu de.
How would
But what I do know,
Ringamen long.
Yaya is one ear, one-sided.
Yaya
And if he believes you, that's it.
yaya mutulu kilingolti. Na la tela dorong bitung alota woleto.
Unless somebody will tell him that what this man is telling is not true,
For
he
him-
will leave you forever also.
Fonim mo nata kayan ko nyin kamem foye to nya tende aduna boteto fanan aboteto le fereng.
how would you describe such a person?
Silang wo mo si fa ite ma mari fola nyadi.
I don't know.
Malon de mbe mem fola.
Wouldn't such a person be a fool?
Umo façon
Moti mi ala ko tolelo.
No, it's not you cannot. I don't think is that word has fit him because he's short-tempered. Short-tempered people are not fools, but once he gave up, he has forgotten everything. So I don't
nta
think
fola
such
ko
people
tole
are
olonde
not
bari ngalon ko.
and
Would you say that he was also eccentric?
Afora le ko
I think that is
molo
the
mi ala
correct word.
Wala nyinte ate anya ba fangole kang amunta ay ko be ngani a fangole. Ah sedo ko de wode mo mu kumaleti me yalon ko o mu to nyal.
I don't know whether that's the definition. More money all. Would you describe him as that?
Yeah.
Ah
Would you also describe him as, people do say that he can be quite wicked.
fo isa fono fo mo jawbalo ka mol ko fo
He can be wicked.
asikeno mo jawbalo.
Yes, it's true.
ah o mu to nyal.
He enjoys putting people in difficult situations, untenable situations, be it pain or suffering.
Aka kontan ya nyo ka so ka nyo se ole ka je na e moje molbe dimo ko no molbe batare o ka nyo se ondele.
Ah o mu to nyal.
It is also said that he enjoys putting people so low that they would have to beg him to massage his ego.
Aka kontan ne fana ka je ko ay momuta o do yandi fa mari isaja mari sa tara mana ne la mari fa sa hana asingo fa ngoro.
amarisi amanene hanifo aya fan jindi ay duma.
If he was doing that, it was not during my time.
Nabe oke kande wo manke
What I
ndela
don't know
wato.
is,
Namen
Yaya
long.
wants to be look at somebody big, not great, but a big man.
Ndega men long wala mi yaya laftale moli aje ko ate mumo baleti.
And he would do everything possible to keep that view.
That bigness, yeah.
dunga ba kul be kelele ka je ko ateo atetu warare ndoro.
And he saw his presidency as his throne, didn't he?
Andu la president ya jele ko wala mala man sasiramti.
Anyway, Yaya was not seeing the Gambia as a democratically elected government, Gambia. He was seeing it as his personal property. I can say that.
Yaya man Gambia je ko karte fayo demokrasi la silo la wole banku fazamu Gambia ti. Yaya e Gambia mutale ko ate fansum fengole mu Gambia ti.
That is why sometimes if we talk, he will tell you, Ntela Banko.
That's why dalilo le asabu tumodo nabe diamala ba fala nabanko my country.
And serving as his director of national intelligence, did you at the time believe that that was lawful?
Silang
No.
Wato men itebe director general yala yo men famate fo ite famolata wala bang hani sedo ko hani.
And at that time, did you really see the kind of damage this kind of thinking Yaya Jammeh had could have for this country? The kind of damage that would have for this country?
silang ite wato ya jele tonya comme mirar sifa mimbala abe tinyaro mi sabula banko e wato ite wo jele ba.
That was why I was always very close to him.
Dalilo le asabu wati nkatara kataringala.
Because even when I was negotiating for the Sadauda's return, it has to take me some time.
Ani o dalilo le asabu fango wato memba kata kampuru Sadauda isaina mbanko kang ay wati janta.
I had to use Edu Gomez,
Nga kata hanfo nga Edu Gomez da dundije
was my friend,
unter longotinu.
and he brought me Sadauda's nephew called Sidi Alame.
Ando anata Sadauda barindi ngonati ikafome Sidu Alami.
He sat in my office,
Nsitan na ofiso kono.
and I told him I want Sadauda to come home.
Nganyina fayan ko leftale Sadauda isaina Gambia.
And Sidi Alame told me that will be very good if you can do it.
Sidi Alami kwenye wutumole ko bebete ala bake natara isa keno.
I told him the man has been away for 7 years. It's enough.
Nkai atatabanko e mane sanji worowla wo kanyanta.
And he said, I will talk to my sister,
Akonye wotombedi amulambari musumaye.
that is Mina Alame, who was married to Bakari Njai.
Bikafole wotumo Mina Alami membe futu wala numbakari Njai.
Then they came with Mina to my office.
Wotumo kola lam ini Mina natana ofisoto.
We discussed.
Nkachata.
And I told her that I want a number that I can reach to Sadauda.
Nkai wotumole lefta telephone number la mensi futa no Sadauda ma.
And he gave me the number to Mariam Alame, who was also a niece to Sadauda, who came in UK.
Wotumo anata number din na men Mariam Alami.
Sorry, my legs are boiling. So
Me ya lonkolo futa Mariam Alami ma adu wotumo be Angleterre wala United Kingdom katwo fana ma barindi ngoleti.
call Mariam.
Nga Mariam kumandi.
He said, who is this?
Mariam kujumale munyinti.
He said, it's me, Abdoulie Kujabrbi.
Nka entelom Abdoulie Kujabi.
He said, yes, I heard your name.
Akonya hange to moile.
What do you want?
Ilafta munela.
He said, I want to speak to the old man.
Nka ilafta diamula keba famole.
He said, okay, give me 1 hour. I'm going there. If I reach, I'll call you and we'll talk to him.
Akonya montoro wate kilindin na sa yimbita ajele nimfutata jembe kumandila ina idiam.
What I'm telling you, if you go to the Kairaba Sadauda's book, you'll see what I'm telling you is still written there.
Ni nkama mfuete ni tata Sadauda la bukoto Kairaba ibaje la safari njele.
I spoke with Sadauda
Ni Sadauda diamuta.
and I told him,
Nkae
not good for you to be away.
amambete ya puriye taramane.
I know you are home hungry.
Ngalo nko Gambia meya bela.
I want you to come home.
Ilafta le yese nansu.
He said, is that possible? I said, yes.
Akonya fosi keno le bankai ha.
He said, okay,
ako yo okay abetata
whatever you can,
tesi menkeno woke
let me know about it.
woto isa fo nyangalo.
So you embarked on the negotiating process.
Yeah. Ha.
And I went to Kanila, I met Yaya Jammeh there,
Tumole nata kanila ngaya ya jamme taraje.
met him in his sitting room.
Natara ala si bungo kono.
I called Sarada's number.
Nasa Dauda la nomba kumandi.
When he answered,
Raye njabi.
said, Nakeba,
Nkai nakeba.
Nkai idingo fele.
Nkai idingo fele.
And I said,
That's
who is
your
this?
son. Utumola ko jumalem.
I said, speak to him, you will know who the person is.
Nkai diamu aye. Nina diamu taibalo ngale jumalemu.
When he said hello and Sarada said hello, he hold his mouth. I said, speak to him.
Ring ako hello, Sauda fanan ko hello. Aya dalu muta. Nkai bari hani. Ina diamu.
He spoke for more than 1 hour.
Diamu tamen siata montoro watote.
That's where I took it up,
Jelo mungata mfankang.
negotiated for his assets to be returned first,
Nataka diamu kanyin kataprase sainang.
and I told him to send 2 of his sons to come and witness the handing over of his properties.
Tumolankai idim fula kinang. Puru ila fengolu men bejang ila na fulolu. Mbewulu saindi la nyame wolu sa seria.
And he sent Dauda Jawara, the eldest son,
Aya dinke ke ba kinan Dauda Jawara.
and Almami.
Ning almami.
I received them at the airport
Ntate bentun kulunti jiru lato.
and lodged them at Atlantic Hotel.
Ngeji andi Atlantic Hotel.
Before we reached the hotel, we passed through Auntie Louise, the younger sister to Dauda's mother.
Bari janimbe futala woto nsota anti Louisia
Bakau.
Dauda bama kotoma bakausate woto.
Then I took them to Atlantic Hotel.
Tumolo nate samba Atlantic Hotel.
Following day, I took them to Kanilai
Oso monge samba kanilai.
with Mena, the niece.
Bitung samba je na barindingul.
And they all discussed.
Kachalu keta jele.
Sarada's properties were handed over at the Ministry of Finance. Then Justice Paul was the lawyer of AMRC. He wanted to create a problem. I told him, look, this is a matter that has been discussed. The matter should be solved once and for all. The property should be handed over to the owner.
Go sadawda la lawyer mu Justice Jumalem haketude.
Justice Paul.
Yo wotumo biringa abdia mo ma Justice Paul atelom MRC la lawyer ati alafta kole adundi la jenka.
Mr. Witness, what would have been the consequences if you had made a mistake in that negotiation process? If you had made a mistake, what would have been the consequences?
Because I know there will be no mistake, because I was talking to Yaya Jammeh on several occasions, mentioning Sadauda just to feel his pulse before I did the negotiation.
Ngalo ne filite keno la je katu sinya jama nka ya jamme kachande nka jube pour nyin kamala nsanga niyo ning alodula long wo koluto wo dalilo le ya sabu mfanango silota.
You are confident there would be no mistake.
Yeah.
Ko ite lat ilata le ko atakela kutimi alonka be kele bulu fidolti.
Ha.
In your view, what would have been the consequences if at all Yaya Jammeh did not in the end like the outcome of what you have done?
Silang ite la jero to mune binatela la koliati ni Yaya Jammeh manal bang ka song ite la ngin ko la yiminta malite.
Yaya Jammeh is a president in his office, but in his house, I am the elder brother.
Yaya Jammeh mu president litide ala office kono bara ala bungo kono ntele mo akototi.
If he act otherwise, he will see the other side of me, which he will never want to. And God knows who Abdoulie Kujabrbi is.
Ya lo no jumalam Abdoulie Kujabrbi ti andung ayentela karado fanalon.
Well, we would see what subsequently happened to Abdoulie Kujabrbi. And then we would know who Yaya Jammeh is. On that note, Mr. Chair, perhaps it's convenient that we take the coffee break now, 5 minutes in advance, and then we would issue. I don't want to move beyond this point yet.
Thank you very much, Emma Council, and thank you, Mr. Kujabrbi. We come back at 12 noon.
Am I losing my 5 minutes?
Yes, I'll give you
All right.
extra 5 minutes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.